I am Jasmine Renee Davis. And yes, there are many resources that are available to teach skills to make sure to properly handle situations or to articulate, to comprehend, to understand, to correspond, to align or even react, to be appropriate and proper mannerisms, and at times to adjust, to be responsive in areas of action is something that is important. So being able to learn and have education, to see different things, is serious. For me to be able to be myself is vital. I'm fine. I'm who I am, right? I'm not mad, but I can make this comment to say like, for me to know that people are fighting me or whatever they're doing, whatever, okay? Whatever they choose to do. And then they try to say, oh, I'm trying to help you. I said, these people have to be like so messed up to believe that that is helping me. But okay, because I know I'm Jasper Renee Davis. I refer to myself as me, and they say they're trying to help you, but I don't know who you is. But anyway, you talking about me, whatever. But to stay on topic, when people try to have me to constantly go into environments where they ask me things like, can they take my vitals? That is fucking serious. Okay? That is some slick ass bullshit. And those people have education. And they know exactly what they are asking. And that is inappropriate for them to ask me, can they take my organs, my life, my living? That's what that means. The same thing of what is your social? These people know what it is that they are saying, and they're on some scam stuff. They're on some stealing stuff. And for them to insult my intelligence constantly and put me into environments or try to have me to go into environments that would constantly try to take away from me or betray me or try to have me to do whatever, even when they even try to have me to forfeit my own existence. Like when they try to have me to surrender my existence, to give up on myself, and they disguise it. Is an insult, and it's an intentional insult to my intelligence, and that is a crime. Now that's a crime, and I have to constantly, what do you mean? And then they write reports on me and punish me and say, "Oh, you're being difficult. You're being, uh, you're not being productive. Who are you trying to produce here? What are you making?" This is real life. It's cold outside, too, though. I'm trying to move my sweater a little bit over, but I'm wanna gotta keep it on because it's cold and I'm feeling a little bit better, warm. Put it right here, but I want to be able to make sure I talk. Oh my goodness. And for me to be able to understand things, it's important. They have a place called Vital Records. Man, I'm telling. Serious situations. I don't know if any black people even work in them places. I've never seen a black person work at the Vital Records office. I don't know if I've ever seen a black person work in the whole building where the Vital Records office is. And as a black person, and as a female, the situation is important. And critical situations. A critical situation could just be me wanting to live my life and be regular and to be pretty and have some kind of education. To speak intelligently in ways that I can vocalize awareness. To be punished for that in 2025 or in 1 AD is ridiculous. At any point. What I'm saying is at any point. And I'm trying. But to have these people to pretend to try to come up with something to be in the beginning stages of creating some kind of method of madness as if they are not being abusive, like, in times of segregation and slavery, for them to be able to read books and figure out who they want to be and change the narrative and change the names and steal identities and smile in my face as if I am the one that is puppet master. Like I'm just creating a narrative that is just not true. That something is wrong with my focus, my diligence in life, as if I literally cannot see what they're doing. Like I can't see what the fuck they're up to. You're doing it right here in my face every day. But that is not the reason for this video, of course. But it is a heavy subject matter. It is also evidence. Yes. But for me to be able to have proper information and etiquette, to be appropriate and to form manners for myself is important. I made this playlist today. I was doing some things and I wanted to listen to some music, and I said, I don't want to hear any. I have my playlist, but I want to just hear males, like men, you know. And so I play some songs or whatever. You know, they mean something to me or whatever, right? But I mean, there are other people's songs, and really, I would like to find like where I can just even hear just the instrumental, like the beats, right? And I said that to myself, like, yeah, the words are important, but some of these words don't. Some of these words are questionable, and that's fine because there is a way that I can look at it, and I don't care if someone finds fault in me and they don't believe in me and they don't understand how I'm articulating these things while I'm trying to articulate. Because I have to accept the fact that I have to learn and be appropriate. But I can learn. And I can learn for myself. If someone is convinced on misunderstanding me, that is not important to me. I am not going to drive myself crazy. I'm not about to be in any situation that I have to fabricate a situation and walk in insanity or be insane. When I say walk in insanity, I mean I am not going to. I'm not going to I'm not going to be insane. I'm not going to be driven insane. I'm not going to be insane. I am going to be able to keep my balance. And I have to look through some things. I have to figure some stuff through. And I want to learn. To be kept away from myself is serious. And people test to see, and they find ways to constantly say that I'm angry and I'm all these different things, and they try to say that I am a danger to them, or they have tried to say to myself. But I am so happy that there was some court records to say that I am not a danger to myself and I am not a danger to others. And I am only improving. I am only getting better. But I still listen to this playlist. I made this playlist with these songs. I shared 2 songs on my profile that I liked, actually, that I could appreciate. I'm not a fan, but it's just some music that I hear, and the words matter, of course. And I can hear those people, what they're saying. That is them. That is their input that I can hear, and I can actually understand that that's a vibe. Long time ago, I understood the assignment, and I heard those songs, and I said, wow, they are putting together these words with the beats, they're articulating appropriately. And you know what? Some of this stuff I could relate to. To agree is something very serious and important to me, and I do not have to agree with every situation. I have to continue to understand. Realization is a given. That's something necessary. I am real. People sit up there and say, well, people are just vapors. They're not really this and that. And they talk about, oh, well, this is a matter. Whatever it is, it's not real. I mean, that's your perception. And there are all different kinds of groups of people that are destined to convince someone because of whatever the situation is. And people literally believe it. That's on you. I believe that I touch things. I believe in solid things. I believe in holistic things. I believe in reality. Yeah, you might not see the same color the way that I see the same color. You might not be the same thing as me. Of course you're not. Oh, goodness. Mm. But I don't have to have to constantly fight off someone's hate. God, I have to be creative in the ways that I reject hate, because that's not natural for me. That's not my original nature. And yet and still these people try to inflict that on me. Or even when someone is not hating, but just know, just for information, that I would like to learn and be who I am in my situation. So I care about myself, and I want to do things. I know how to do lots of things, and for people to put stuff out there like, oh, they suspend my driver's license, that had nothing to do with me driving. Altogether, they punished the shit out of me for their records in Kenosha, Wisconsin. They tried to charge me. They did it all in 1 week. They hunted me with the foundation who is trying to make everyone to remain in a childlike position. When a child is born, only education that child has is the vibrations of life, some of the best information about the human body, the feeling, how to swim, how to live in water. I mean, it's such a fabulous thing where they are extracted. These people take away from the mind of the child the supernatural powers, the openness, and how the process is, I want to say organic, but the natural ability. And so I wouldn't even say that those people are trying to just keep someone like a child, but the child does not, all the child has is the sensibility of an open universe. Wow, how amazing. But then you start uprooting and showing how different buildings and how different people are all around. And it's almost like you smother the contentment of a child. And it's not intentionally, it's not on purpose, because a child has to grow. One thing is that their bones have to grow, their brains have to expand, even from such supernatural powers as a child is literally born with, especially through natural birth. But the brain and the body and everything has to grow, of course. The umbilical cord is cut. Usually the placenta is supposed to be a proper source of nutrients, and it's not. It's a lot of times taken, and it was taken from me. It was, my children were forced into this world soon before, and they did not get the proper nutrients that I produced in my body, that my child had. The placenta was stolen from me. And that placenta and that umbilical cord and all those things. And I later learned that they're supposed to ask me, would I like to keep these things? And I can store it in a bank for myself and for others that I choose. But in this area, I'm in Wisconsin, they just abuse it. They find that they don't have to ask, like nobody have the money for that. They do not care in the process. And that's the thing, they take life that can assist so many black people in their own families to stay alive. And they have people out here starving and drowning in poverty and thirsting, dehydration, while they sit up there in their enrichment, and they have the nerve to look at my motherfucking face and tell me that I'm nothing, or that I'm obscene, or I'm a threat to them, or I'm all these things, literally campaigning to fight me because of my knowledge and the limits I have of it. You tell your people that there is someone out there stealing life from others and slapping them right in the motherfucker, and slapping them in the face. And okay, as if a slap is a slap, right? Some people want to be slapped to make sure that they wake the fuck up, right? And I mean it just like that. Because I said some people, not all. Mind your business. Stay in your lane. Please, appreciate that. Stay in your lane. As a matter of fact, you might not have a lane, but I'm going to tell you, I'm going to stay in my lane. How about that? I'm going to stay in my lane. Don't come in my lane. I'm not driving with you, and I'm not on the team with you. Straight up. For me to be able to properly be myself, knowing that there is extreme deficit, and for people to say, well, because you're black, you can handle it. You have strength. And because they're white and they find that they are so sick, shit, like they entitled to every motherfucking thing because they supposed to be black and they're not. They are out of motherfucking this. Wow. And black people get on bullshit like that too. Don't even trip. There are some black people who are hateful. Pure hateful. Purely hateful. And wear a disguise. I'm telling you right motherfucking now. It ain't always some real black folks out there now. Hold on, sorry. It should occur to just be yourself. People work hard to stay white. People work hard to stay black. You know, what time is it? Yeah, yesterday is 2:27 a.m. It's Monday, May 5th, 2025. But but it's not that cold. It's just also too. I'm just trying to just get myself into a good position right now. I'm just yawning and stretching and feeling it. It is, it's just cold. I like to be warm. My phone keeps shining light. I have to go to okay, but America, the world, I would say that it's called the world. It's called Earth, right? People have to understand that a lot of this shit is just out here, and they work so hard through the amusement process that it's no longer amusement because they are trying to control it. They want to facilitate everything. That's just like going to Six Flags Great America or to some kind of theme park. You're creating something and it's there and it's like, oh, I get to choose. But really, these are all human emotions that I'm supposed to experience in my life and be able to do it. And it's almost like I have to go in a particular chamber to be able to do that. To go to a hiding pose and position in my life to be able to be effective. In my, I want to say continuity. I'm going to look up that word. Wait a minute now. Education is everything. And yes, continuity. It says here just a definition that I just looked through right there in Google. It says, the unbroken and consistent existence or operation of something over a period of time. It's just give an example. Pension rights accruing through continuity of employment. Similar. Continuousness. Uninterruptedness. Flow. Progression. Okay. It says the maintenance of continuous action and self-consistent detail in the various scenes of a movie or broadcast. So that word just came and it fits so perfectly as I continue to grow. My words come together in my mind. I don't have to have a constant interruption or interference, as I already said. And through the court process, these things are in position. I'm literally fighting. Just being here to show up and say, hi, I would like to live my life. And this is the reason why I want to live. Like I'm casting a ballot for my own self to live. Jasmine Renee Davis. And I'm the only one to do it. I don't have to hire somebody that may or may not contribute to a miscount. You know how serious that is? People spend millions of dollars to recount ballots. Wisconsin has a tremendous reputation of the ballot recount for a reason. People, there are laws to say, wait a minute. You have to facilitate a recount. Something is not adding up. And to constantly have to be provoked into a machine. I gotta look up a word. And for me to have to be constantly provoked into a machine of transgression is serious to me. Now, there are those who don't take these laws serious, right? And I understand why. But this is the thing. I have my life serious. I want to live. And I know there are things that will try to come, impose, and even disguise, and use that as an excuse to gain control of me and over me and around me. To literally try to separate me from myself. People have tried to literally put me into a coma because they said that I was incompetent, that I could not learn the law. How is that? How could those people, the district attorney's office, some fucking normal people who went and got an education, so-called citizens, at a business that they motherfucking had to open up, they have no training of the law, they have no motherfucking training of the courts, that and they say, oh, these people have been trusted. They have been in contract with the state of Wisconsin or the city of Kenosha, Wisconsin for more than 15 years or some shit like that. So they trust. You have never worked with these people and understood their process ever. You do not know that they are dishonest, and I've been in Kenosha for motherfucking 38 years, and you gonna choose to believe them because you've been knowing them for 15, but you motherfuckers been having me in this court system for more than 21 years, in the school to prison pipeline for more than 30, and you gonna you wanna believe somebody on that shit? Who the fuck is holding the merit? I am. I have all of the room to talk, and if any belief belongs to anybody, it belongs to me. Jasmine Renee Davis, and it's raining. I have to go through this literal process, hands on. Why would you all, with this judge and all of y'all, and again, I appreciate them for not forcing me to be on medication, but them same people were trying to put me in a coma, the doctors and the hospital. But the hospital said they're going to recommend it, but they won't force me to take the medication. And I appreciate that, but they kept trying, and they were being dishonest, writing things to say that
I would have seizures and all that. You know why? Because it's not normal to put somebody in jail and take them out of their natural habitat or environment, especially when that is not somewhere that they are supposed to be, and have them forced into silence and hunger and abuse and very small things with fucked up lighting and lack of fucking proper control and examination of my own ability to get up and produce my own capabilities to walk and understand that yes, I can make it. And some people have a hard time with that, and then they also poison. So they try to set up the scene like they put me in situations with dirty fucking rooms. Walking into it, it wasn't my mess. You ever been to a party and you just do, right? But then some people have wait staff, right? So you don't get to see. Somebody drops a napkin, someone comes and pick it up, you still go about your way. You don't have to worry about that. But what about where everybody has went home for the day, right? What about if no one ever shows up where I am all of the employment independent? You do not force me into a situation that you have where you have dozens of wait staff and employees and partnerships and relationships and tell me that I'm a failure because the time that you spend or the money that you spend is okay. But you know what? I'd rather value my time than your dollar. I'd rather value my life than your opinion. I'm the only expert on me. So if you want to compete as far as time and money is concerned, very well. But do not interrupt me when I'm speaking, because if I come to you and I ask you for some of your money, or if I come to you and snatch or take your money or rob you or do anything like that, I will be in trouble. So why can't you be held to that same regard where you are constantly telling me something and you are trying to be a factor in my life to waste my time? I am not trash. I ain't trash. But you all want to constantly, and the president of Burkina Faso said it, that these people are trying to make them or whoever, black people, as if they are subhuman. Africa is saying it, and again, from such a rich land, and black people in America are also, listen, it makes it hard because these people are wanting to take some shit from Africa and not even give it to the black people over here. And not only are you stealing from Africa, and it's hard for the black people to even mine it, to work with it, to grow it, to touch it, to even see it. Where are the plants? Where are the factories? Where's the land? Where is it? Yes, I can drive to it, but you steal my car. You reroute and rezone. You take the placenta, you drain, you put little buildings around and ask for fucking plasma, and you give 10, 20, 30, $40 for it to drain somebody. You literally are illegally doing dialysis in a commercial environment as an elective, and you motherfuckers wonder why they keep changing the buildings. They don't stay in the same fucking place. The people, they put a motherfucking title company right on Washington Road and 32nd Avenue. Just at enough time to quote unquote buy my fucking house from me. And then they left the area. Fuck that. These people are on assignment. And they can rent, and they have the purpose of renting. And I am not allowing them to rent me and take the ownership of me and my life. I have a right to look at every law possible. In education, in law, in fundamentals. It broadcasts all kinds of things, including fucking personal injury. No, because you know what? You are all your hospitals around here that are open and available to the public. You know, it's said that Catholics believe and people are trying to fight against that. Even cardinals and people are advocating to say this is not appropriate. It's inhumane for you to punish people who are in pain, to take their life. Slowly but surely, because they have pain, because they tell you that they have pain, and yet and still they deny people, black people, of pain medication, and they say that they give them mentally ill medications. They take their life from them. They did it to me, and it makes so much motherfucking sense. I told them because I was over 320 pounds. And I know the difference in the way that I walk. I don't have all those same problems. But if I put a specific amount of weight and I'm not working on my muscles properly and I'm not having the proper nutrition, I'm going to have to work harder. And I'm happy to work harder. I'm living. But those people did not give me pain medicine. They gave me Cymbalta. And it was the generic Cymbalta. It was not from the Eli Lilly company. It was, they stole some of the ingredients from Eli Lilly and created a generic version of Cymbalta. Yes, they did. Ha, ha, ha. Yes, the fuck they did. And the state of Wisconsin is stealing every motherfucking thing they can get their hands on. And so these people gave me a mental health medication for pain. They didn't give me like ibuprofen. It was some pill that they gave me for seizures. I mean, not for seizures. They tried to say I was having seizures, but I'm making a point here. I got so much on topic here. But from a surgery. And it's called Tramadol. And it was supposed to be for pain. They also give things like Vicodin, but they don't do that no more. But it still does not handle the actual problem. So what they did was put me on a medication as if I was mentally ill. They later tried to tell me that I really was not in pain because of my vital, I don't even know what to call it, but my vital readings were not alarming to them. So, because whatever the reason was, I was not in an emergency at all. But I was understanding my body, and they not once told me, you are fine. Just continue to be strong. The things that I told my own self. You have weight on you. Your body is still growing. Because I believe that when they said when I was 18, I was so grown. I am learning. My bones are still growing to this day. I believe my feet have grown. Seriously, I'm not playing. There are things out there that stunt or slow growth. But instead, those people put me on a mental illness medication, a generic version of Cymbalta, to put me out there as mentally ill, as if they were saying that I was dying, brain dead. And eventually that would, whenever they would feel like it, and some of the things that they are doing now, trying to do in the court, and have these little motherfuckers call me and try to even convince me to go and say, have tests on the outside of the court so it could be for those people to fight me. And Adult Protective Services sent me a letter. You did not even mention shit about Adult Protective Services. The same people like Child Protective Services who would try to interrupt my life and steal my life from me and put me through the court process and take me from me. This is some bullshit. But this is how organized the crime that they are doing. And how unorganized it is for me to put it out, because they are coming from every direction. And for me to have to blurt this information out is serious and important. And this is why they tried to shut me up. And they said that I am causing threats and obscenities to them, as if I'm making it hard for them to do their jobs for me. But yes, those people sit up there and won't allow someone to take care of themselves and heal. And when someone is constantly going to another person to ask them about life, you may not get life. Some people deal with the situation of death in different ways. Some people fight death, and some people push into death, because this is the standard. Those people, there are people who are trying, and they rather dump somebody like they're trash and to keep on trying to learn how to get it right, instead of writing a grant to ask for proper things to take care. And this is why people are creating robots that are doing surgeries. But that is not always good, because then nobody is responsible, and then people just don't get any explanation or any guarantee for life of its own self. And that itself is important. Hello, somebody. Can you hear me? Please. And actually, I don't have to beg anybody to hear me, but this is so real. But then I also have an attitude problem. And my attitude problem is that I have an attitude. Yes, I like having an attitude. And an attitude is happiness and enjoyment, enlightenment, and whatever the fuck I wanted to be. Yes. Now. To align, focus, and to have it constantly warranted and taxed or removed is important. They have eye doctors out there that have literally taken advantage of the purpose of eyeglasses, binoculars, magnifying glasses, telescopes, because someone said, here's a hurry to grow your vision. I can wear glasses now. I'm not tripping. I'm not rejecting glasses now, so don't even trip. But what I am saying is I would like to grow my vision and grow appropriately. My body is continually growing. But these people they go and they make people dizzy. I used to have my nieces and nephews, and I used to be in the yard, the backyard, somewhere outside, maybe even in the house. And I used to spin around with them in my hands. And I used to make it seem like they were flying. And I used to go in circles, and I had the energy to literally pick up these 60 and 50 and 70 pound babies, children, my nephews and nieces. And I was not 18. I wasn't probably even shit. At times I wasn't even 15, but I was still doing it when I was 15. But I would spin them around and spin 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 around. And they would just holler in enjoyment and happiness and delight. And they were so alive, and they would look at me and they'd just be laughing and wondering and just go. And eventually they knew, this is my Auntie Jasmine. Even though I told them later on, I'm Aunt Jasmine. I'm Jasmine Renee Davis. And even with my own children, of course. But I did not get the opportunity to do things so much with my children as I did with my nieces and nephews. But I've had sometimes the difference in my children and my nieces and nephews is that I carried my children in my womb and I gave birth to my babies. But my nieces and nephews, I promise, those have been my children. And it's not for anybody to say anything other, but today is a new day. I am on my own. I'm not claiming anything that is not mine. But what I'm using is as an example. And I'm saying that sometimes I would stop and I would stand there. And the world, whatever, would seem to be rotating and spinning. And I would just be standing there as things were just spinning all around as an axis. That is something that is important to know, and to not know how exactly to describe that and to understand. Okay, but that's their opinion. I'm going to explain it for myself. I just told you what the fuck happened. There's no word for it. If you don't have time, if you don't got enough room on your motherfucking paper to write it down, you might as well ball that bitch up and shoot a 3-pointer right the fuck there. Please. Get rid of that shit. You are not appropriately aligning yourself to even go through this process. Interview where? I do not have to constantly learn people's things so that they can continue in their paperwork, because all it is them, like the Kenosha Public Library wrote, they told me that if I get an online account, I would have to literally advocate for them, fight for them. If anybody was to sue them, they would come to me, as if the information in that library was for them, not for me. None of that shit is for me. But they want the public to pay for it. They are stealing. From citizens and people, home ownership, people that own the city and own the town. And these people have come from wherever the fuck they have come from and bamboozled the fucking scam people out of every fucking piece of land building. And these people built it for themselves, and they are jailing people and telling people that you may not sue them for anything. And also, you not only can you not fight them or put them through litigation, these motherfuckers are pathetic. 2, that's not all. The fraudulency and the misappropriation of public funding is incredible around this bitch. I mean it just like that. I say it on the court record, keep your sheriff's deputies at a distance, please. And I'm sure, that's what I said, they'll hear me if I play the song. You know what I'm saying? That's why they never asked me for my witness list. That shit is illegal. The public defenders are supposed to immediately get a witness list from any defendant right then and there at intake, immediately through the process, and they never do. They have no plans on going to motherfucking trial, and that's bullshit. I do not care. The district attorney, the public defenders, any attorney is supposed to immediately get a witness list. That's the law. Everybody can say that that's why they mad at me, because all these motherfucking mistrials and they have to let these people free. You have fucked up their case. Hello. And you know it. And this why they don't have complaint forms? Is this why the Wisconsin State Public Defender's Office does not have complaint form? Is that why Mount Pleasant Police Department does not have an available complaint form on their website? But they have a recognition to celebrate these people and motherfuckers too. Hold on now. I don't have to give you prejudice. But also, you want to dismiss my shit with prejudice, without prejudice, have my stuff read in, and that shit is illegal. Double jeopardy like a motherfucker. You constantly bring up stuff that have nothing to do with each other. I am not your sister, and I am not your mother. And I'm not your wife. Or your daughter. God damn it. I'm nothing to them. I'm nothing. I am nothing to them. Literally. But my name means so much. Because that's all they want to fucking reduce me to, is a motherfucking name that they can easily fucking carry and articulate, and have the nerve to take that away from me and tell me, you're just Jasmine, bitch, you're tripping. Get real, you would never be Jasmine Renee Davis. I never, bitch, you'll take your smart, literal, motherfucking ancient, motherfucking time, skilled, motherfucking well-learned, well-written ass somewhere and get the fuck gone away from me with your smart, intelligent, inheritant, goddamn ass on. You drunk ass motherfucker, bitch, drunk off words ass bitch. Oh, you drunk off as words, literary motherfucking whoever. And them motherfuckers act like they librarians. And they hate me because they been lying saying they librarians. And I say, you're not a librarian. They probably getting paid a librarian's salary being dishonest, because ain't nobody audited they motherfucking asses. Them motherfuckers cashing in while somebody walking next to me and talk about ka-ching. Walking right through that Kenosha Welcome Center at nighttime, talk about ka-ching. I was awake though. Motherfuckers was doing all kinds of shit, dropping little money here and there, and then people talk about, do you want, this is $50. Okay, I told the man I didn't want it. He put it there. Okay, he invested in what the fuck, in this motherfucking broke down place over here. Use that $50 to buy another motherfucking tripod to hold this goddamn sign up. Y'all got all these people coming from out of town, taking a picture with this raggedy ass shit that y'all got out here. Tape holding it up. Water coming through the motherfucking buildings. Electricity fucking up all around the bitch. And I'm sitting my black ass up in there trying to make it and trying to figure out how I'm going to talk, when I can talk to these people, how I'm going to talk to these people about how to repair this goddamn building. But they so goddamn intelligent. So they sit up there and they want people to fight their battles and do everything. You know, I have some things to mention, and I have to release some bodily fluids soon. But they don't have the experience. But they want all of the reward. And sure, you may want something, but you have not been there. You want everything in life handed to you. And people say, well, you know, they used to tell me, your dad give you everything. My dad was murdered. He didn't even begin to give me everything. He tried to give me everything that was mine. There was no way that he would ever give me. He didn't want me to have everything but an education. And that was not the education of everybody. He would tell me, stop running them streets. Stop getting involved with all of these people that you do not know. Why are you letting all these people in and out your house like this that you do not know? Get to know some people first. Get to know some people beforehand. You know, and that's me just kind of summarizing what he was saying. I would say things, it would be, you know, kin folks from out of the state that would be like, yes, sir, and yes, ma'am, and they would have to speak like that, or whatever. And a lot of times it would be me and my dad coming out, shit, in the early evening time, walking out of Racine, Wisconsin, Old Country Buffet at Westgate Mall after eating at Old Country Buffet. And I said to my dad one time, thank you. And he said, you don't have to thank me. And another time I said he was saying something to me, and he would always walk straight forward, but I would be damn near clinging. And it ain't really been nobody else that I would just cling on to their every word, just to their existence that was just so popular to me. But I would find that I can see that, and I'm so happy for it. And I don't know why these people are trying to erase things from me. What the fuck? You got books that do every fucking thing for you. You can touch all kinds of books, and you want to take from me all I have in this whole goddamn, but I have my life, and it's not over for me. But I look at my dad, and he be walking so goddamn tall, like 6'7". He was probably like 6'3". 6'4", something like that, but he is 6'3" and 6'4". His body is still there. And it better be. Litigation is in order. But anyway, of course, as I say, you can't fight a ghost king. Yes, it is possible to fight a ghost. Wait a minute now. So, but anyway, so being alive, coming out, and my dad was saying something to me, and he's walking straight to his Chrysler. I think it's Fifth Ave, yeah. And I said, "Yes, sir." He said, "You don't have to say yes, sir, to me. Say yes, sir, to me." And these are the things to look at in a situation, because my dad was proper, decent, knowledgeable in who he's James Rector Davis. He was not someone that appropriately would be answered to as sir. You look at these things and you realize that whole militaries come into towns to regulate, and you are expected to show them appreciation and describe them as such. But it's being hidden from people, and they're masking and they're disguising because they don't want people to understand that they're up to no good. But I have news for you today, that there is a war out here. And my dad did not tell me that. I didn't get to know about Vietnam and the reason for the Palmyra and all these different things that was going through. I did not have to feel any of that shit, because that was not my fight. But I have to be alive. I am 38 now, and I have my own problems. And I do not have to keep recruiting these people to fight for me. If you find that you want to fight for me, I'm not fighting for you, and you're not fighting for me. You want to be on some bullshit, and I'm trying to watch myself now. You not even want to fight alongside of me. That's how I know you on bullshit and you don't fuck with me. Bitch, you don't even want to stand next to me and see, because you would never see what I'm seeing. Fight your own battle. Handle your own battle. Articulate your own battle. I am in a battle. It is mine. This is my battle. I am my Lord. I am my Savior. I am Jasmine Renee Davis. But this same, you are not the one to bring these screams out of me, and you're mad. You are not the one to suck my bodily fluids up out of me and put something inside of me so that I can feel what life is for the motherfucking amusement of the goddamn what I am motherfucking promise, because I'm never supposed to go through this shit like this way. I feel my body in the way that I feel my body. These are natural goddamn feelings, and you won't numb me down and pimp me the fuck out. I'm trying to get this unnatural shit out of my life. I give birth every motherfucking day to some shit, and you motherfuckers want to come and adopt it. You stupid motherfucker. I'm not trash. And then you watch and have security because you wonder, would I snap the fuck out on you like this in them public offices? Not highly, not motherfucking likely, because this is not a motherfucking joke or a goddamn drill. I come from somewhere. You all motherfucker don't give a fuck about shit or any real background motherfucker other than what you have goddamn created through your own imagination. Bitch, how about you imagine some better shoes on your raggedy ass motherfucking feet, you thin hair ass motherfucker. Police gonna come up to me and tell me I got short hair cause somebody hair longer. Bitch, where? Now you a beautician. Of course you came right from Gateway Technical College. Boss up, level up there, motherfucker, but not on me. Shit. These motherfuckers at Racine Municipal Court refused. Well, matter of fact, they got pews up in there, and then they later said that the pews came from a motherfucking donation. They're gonna take the cross. I said, oh, bullshit, you're lying like a motherfucker. You're being dishonest. You don't have the money in your budget, but you don't realize what you're doing to everybody that's sitting on the seat. They literally are harassing and hassle. They have a Racine police officer that is hassling people through their municipal court cases, that is talking and interfering through the beginning stages of trial and during court and making choices for people and forcing people into pleas. A police officer. Yeah. It's a fucking mess. And people are like, fuck it. They rather just accept it than go to jail and have these motherfuckers to stalk them and harass them. And what they have to realize, that mass incarceration turns later into motherfucking abuse and indictments and warnings for death. And as I said before, they ask people, can they have their vitals or can they take their vitals? And that is an inappropriate question, and that warrants and deserves a no. And then, why are you asking me to take my vitals? You are supposed to ask, can you use this machine to come up with something and call it a reading of my vital signs? That's still inappropriate. But you have to realize that these people are after something, and they have created gadgets just like those eye doctors who push air in drops into people's eyes and make their eyes all like they can't hardly fucking see. And then they say their eyes are not working. And okay, so you're using insurance to go to these eye doctors? Then they say they get to take your eyeballs because they have been treating them and they want to know more about it. These motherfuckers are fatal attractions. They get obsessed, and I don't want no motherfucking body to touch me like that, because if they motherfucking find that they touch it, then they want to pay for it, then they want to own it. That's my body making that sound. And so it's people that are really appropriate, and I appreciate that, because who I am matters. My very existence. I have a great big presence of my life. And I have found a way to make sure that I was keeping myself protected from this cold weather, but I'm feeling the cold weather right now. But yeah, they have all of these things. I had to look up a word. These complexities. They have these complexities. So I asked them more to say. I have to look up a word. And being intricate in either way, from whoever, is very important. It is very important. Whether it's a complication, whether it is detailed, whether it's direct, it all matters, and it makes sense. And so when someone, and they see me picking up, warming up, now, goddamn it, and they quick to stop me. The fool is out here, and it's horrible. When they want to have a good time, they know where to go. There are places out here that use like bottles, top shelf bottles, and they keep the bottles. Yes, they do. And they're improperly managing the system of what it means. And they pour. Just for instance, around here, a lot of people have Hennessy, Crown Royal, something like that. They got other drinks and shit now, like Remy or whatever, right? But Remy Martin, and they keep those expensive bottles. And they refill those bottles, so-called top shelf bottles, with real drinks. I'm out here. And I'm not hating. People literally are being abused. If I only have the finest things in my life, and I'm going somewhere and I'm paying you $30 for a shot, and you have given me a $2 motherfucking shot, and now my levels, my whole thing that I work, I can be a scientist, anything. I can have a scientist as a motherfucking husband, and he wants to check me and make sure my levels not appropriate, then I gotta go, because he is not going to be on any motherfucking drugs or have any cheap shit in his system or nothing. I would have to leave because I choose to be irresponsible. And motherfuckers don't want a prenup, that's on you. I don't have to even get married. But I can. And I'm not saying I got a scientist husband. I'm using it as a goddamn example. But a scientist will ever marry me, my dumb ass, if I let you tell it, that I can't even raise your children or clean your house because I do not have the proper education. Here I am once again, proving my point, and you say that I'm incompetent to even learn. Guilty, not guilty. No contest or by reason of insanity. No, I can't accept that you all got me in these motherfucking cases like this, knowing goddamn well I'm not supposed to be. But I can handle it and tell you the truth and walk about this bitch with my life and have a good goddamn motherfucking day. And night too. You motherfuckers sitting out here stealing everything you can, and you think this good because your dollar is so much more important than any breath that I motherfucking breathe. And it's black people doing this shit. I went to a bar and see this shit. The motherfucker told somebody, no, don't throw those bottles away. They're going to keep those motherfucking bottles. And I later learned that these motherfuckers sit there and replenish the motherfucker. Why? Okay, so if you have the budget to buy the things, it's your budget. You're filing it with the IRS. Oh, fuck you. And white people doing it like a motherfucker. Yes, they are. I have served drinks before. And I wasn't trying to give anybody any cheap shit. I try to get my children at least a $5 loaf of bread. God damn. $5 loaf of bread is not a high price to pay. It is $70 loaves of bread. You all gotta get it. If you need a ticket, if whatever you need to make it, please get what you have to have, or stop bothering me about the choices that I make. This shit is not expensive. It's an expense, but it's not even close. I'm telling you, people are being robbed of their lives, and it's just to let these people sit there and treat someone like trash eventually, because their dumb asses don't know that how to keep somebody alive. It's to let somebody live. Do not fucking kill them. I understand when I say I'm happy to say that I have had a different relationship with people. And primarily it was my nieces and my nephews, but it was more just my one niece and my 2 nephews and sometimes 3 nephews. And then later some other nieces and nephews came along too, of course, and my daughter and my son. And I have cousins and all that. But what I'm speaking on this particular time, and I would spin them around, and then I would be standing there and I would watch them, and they would be having so much fun. They would be having so much fun trying to stand up and walk, and I was literally teaching them balance. But at school, those people were telling me that I could not attend class to learn these things from their books. But I was teaching my nieces and nephews and learning. It's good to have a memory. And they would ask me, Auntie Jasmine, do it again, Auntie, do it again. They want me to do it again. And it was times like this. I was teaching them about the jail system, the criminal justice system, every motherfucking thing out there. And, it was very important to me. But I was literally teaching them balance. And it was times where I would just spin around and I would catch my balance. It wasn't that I had an intoxicant. It was that I was changing the way, and I was looking, and I put my body through a cycle, and I was spinning around in circles. But I had to formulate the proper, I had to look up a word, but I can say it. I don't know how to, but I want to say this word, but I was trying to transmit, like I was trying to do something to get me to another level. And there are things out there that can do it. And I know that it's intoxicants, and there's drugs that would do something for somebody's life without them even moving. And they talk about how people have heart attacks and strokes and all these things because of their body. No, people are poisoning people and improperly medicating people and doing things that are inappropriate. And they are overdosing people. They are mismanaging people. They are malpracticing, and also they're inappropriate. They literally, in the bars where people go to, they are literally poisoning people right there at the main hub. I don't know if that person would have tried to slip me a motherfucking roofie or anything, because they eventually called the police. They said they were calling the police on me. This man was hassling me, being mean to me, and still trying to have a drink with me, being awful to me, hurrying me along. It was literally nobody else in the whole building but them that worked there and me, and maybe somebody else was somewhere else. But in the area I was in, there was nobody else in there. And this man was literally, and he had the nerve to point a motherfucking dart like toward the back of my goddamn head. He had the nerve to point a goddamn dart in the back of my head. That nigga was awful. That man, I can't call him a nigga. I would never give him this satisfaction. That man was terrible. But he was trying to get high with me. And these people are literally wondering, wait a minute. And there are people that are waiting to give someone a DUI to stop them from driving. And it's like, you can have a drink, but if you're going to somewhere and you're buying the finest alcohol and you say, wait a minute, what's happening to me right now? And it'd be more of disappointment than anything. wait a minute, I'm not supposed to feel this way. What's happening? And then you go to somewhere and say, did you do anything different? Did you have anything different than you usually have? And somebody say, no, I drank me some Cavassier, or so that's probably some cheaper liquor, whatever, but I'm just naming some names. And I don't know. I had a fine fermented beverage. Everything was supposed to be natural and pure. I paid $100 for a glass of it. And they run these tests and they say, well, you probably have some kind of illness, and people literally lives are on the line now because these people want to save $200 and they just cost somebody millions of dollars. And insurance agencies look at that shit and they say these people are not caring about their lives. And they investigate it. Yes, they do. But they trash people. They do not even investigate it. They don't do due diligence. They throw people in jail. They throw people through the school, the pipeline. I know it. I've been there. I've experienced it for myself. I went to Momo's Liquor on 52nd. I bought a bottle of alcohol, and when I got the bottle, it was motherfucking open. The seal was fucking open. I'm not bullshitting. This was in 2021. Lou Perini was on bullshit to me too. I went and it was a bottle. I slapped that bottle from Momo's. I said, these motherfuckers out here, y'all competing with each other and y'all not about to take my life from me. I felt like these motherfuckers, Lou Perini's and Momo's and other, you know what I'm saying? I'm not hating on Momo's. I'm not hating on Lou Perini's. But I'm telling you what I went through. That ain't your story. So what the fuck you worried about it? They ain't fuck with you. Shut the fuck up again. I'm in my own lane. You mad cause you don't got this kind of story? You think this shit is awesome? It's lonely at the top, but again, I build my foundation. I had to tell that man, this is open. How many people don't just go and they already fucked up or something like that? They go and they giving them open bottles of goddamn liquor. You know, I've been coming here and I'm coming to buy. This is my drink of choice. It was, I want to say it was probably like Jameson. But it was Jameson, but I think I was buying like Ciroc or something else too. I had this, or Belvedere or something else I was buying. I was buying a Jameson. It was a dark, but I was also buying a light. It was like Grey Goose or some shit. Ooh. Trying to make sure I'm warm. But these people, you gotta wake up and realize, while you all are having all these community meetings trying to teach people about the wrong things to brainwash them, I've seen now where they are like calling out to different people, like in these different fields, and I should have screenshot that. That was a good one. But they say they want beauticians now to learn about how to handle people in crisis. Nowhere is a place to go and just to be yourself anymore. They are now attacking black beauty salons and barbershops. That's how desperate they are, because people are in this woke culture and they're trying to have people to call the police on someone if they act different. Like, for instance, this motherfucker, they supposed to have been my cousins. And I knew that they probably were competing against me. They weren't my biological cousins, but they were from marriage, but they were damn near like my cousins and like my aunt. Black people. But I was already graduated from high school. I was 18 years old. The person who is not my cousin, mother brought her to a shop on 63rd Street in Kenosha, Wisconsin. Somehow their appointment was like, at the time, it's mine, but they're hurrying me through the appointment, and I'm still literally sitting in the chair at my appointment. I wasn't doing my own hair. But not only were they, kind of like in my motherfucking business, the woman goes and reprimands me and fights me and says, Jasmine, stop giving that woman a hard time. Let her do her job. I said, she cut my hair wrong. She is not doing my hair right. She ruined my hair. She's not doing what she said she could do. They had these motherfucking books. These bitches false advertising like a motherfucker, bitch. You're not like them. Get these, bitch, you cannot hold this book. And yeah, they say, oh, this is why they don't let black people have the books. Fuck that. That bitch was in, them books had to be left over from somebody else who had that motherfucking shop. Black people, though. It's some black people who I can do hair. Please, what the fuck? So I'm not going to allow you to attack anybody from the words that I say. You come up with your own stuff because you also have to produce things, and you're not going to constantly follow me and track me to perform, to produce, your motherfucking story, and you got to lead from me. And now you don't have to do shit by the book because you're going to say that you're focused on me and investigating me and happy. You're going to run into some shit and find something a little bit better, and then you say, oh, the beautician part ain't shit. You didn't find some more interest. Get the fuck away from me. You are harassing me, hassling me, stalking me, doing everything illegal, and you all do it, and you claim that you have a badge, and then your numbers don't even show up as license. And when I tell you that, yeah, you motherfuckers have a problem. But literally, if someone sits up there and snaps the fuck out, and so many people, and right now they got it all out there. Anybody all knows y'all on CCAP. They say, oh yeah, this person, they try to say I'm mentally ill. Whoever fucking say it. They call crisis on me. Tell Christ, they're teaching people. Just get rid of them if they don't like your business. First of all, you're false advertising. I like the business. I came here. You said you can do it. You did not say that you were going to poison me. You did not say that you were going to fuck up my eyebrows. You did not say that you were going to mess up my hair. You did not. I came here. I wanted something to happen for my hair, and you did not do it. And then not only that, you're allowing your motherfucking clients to come in here and attack me and badger the fuck out of me. If I ever could say, you are letting your customers harass me. I don't know you right now. You are another customer. I did not come here with you, or you are a client, or you're someone coming in here independently and spending your money. You have no right to speak on me. Because it's not sweet. And when my dad is down and out and gone, you don't answer the phone for me the same as you used to. So you were never there for me. You were there for whatever reason about my dad. I am not your friend. I'm not your family. And that's fine. I'm so happy to have my own life. Don't get it fucking twisted. But they are now training people in barbershops and all of these places where people go for their own leisure outside of any situation. Just wear a ponytail. Put your hair in a ponytail. Just put your hair in a ponytail. Just slick it into a motherfucking some bullshit. To be professional and keep what I have to make sure that I am presentable at every cause. But they are so desperate and they find no error because they can find it in a book. They say, this is the shortcut. They shortcut this shit out of every motherfucking thing. They shortcut so bad that they even teach shortcuts on the computer. I was like, this is not right. I want to learn the full way. No, we do it like this here, but this is not the program. No, but we're doing it like this. And they reprimand me and they damn near slap my hand. I've seen it. These dispatchers, these people, I applied to work in the call center with, from Kenosha. And they know that they look at these bitches hating on me. They look that I was hired to be a crossing guard from Officer Friendly. They looked, I had to be hired through the process of even being a dispatcher or I was even motherfucking looked at to be recruited or something. So they see that I had something to get to the interview process for them to even look at me. They're hating on me. These bitches are being nosy, putting their nose, snooping and please doing shit that they have no goddamn right or business to do whatsoever. Bitch, self-report, bitch. While you got me when I'm going to the barbershop and you got these people in my hair and they damn near it's damn near like, that's what I said, these people aren't these lawyers and public defenders and all these motherfuckers. No, you got motherfuckers in barbershop talking about, people's money they make, all kinds. That shit is inappropriate to me. That is some risky goddamn behavior. And I am not hating, but I'm telling you, these social workers these people are now putting information out there. Places like Kenosha Human Development and United Way and all those places are now trying to have even just one little person. Why this bitch acting a little stank now? Somebody coming in here. I didn't sold food to brought food that I made and sold it in barbershops and places in Kenosha and motherfucking Racine. Beauty salons. I have made my rounds. And I've never did it to brag on it or to say anything, but I have been here. And when motherfuckers start acting funny, you gonna ask why? Just ask them, what have you been training? If you are not properly aligning yourself, you may not do anything with me. They are now teaching people to report people that come into abuse. Some people go to a beauty salon and are distraught. And they go there to get their motherfucking hair washed. I'm stretching shit. Ugh. Whew. They go there to get their hair washed or whatever, condition, grease, scalp, bitch, I'm here for a massage. And you done let these bitches come and teach you how to police the shit out of me. I can't trust you. I take care of my motherfucking self. Stay awake. Wake up. Understand it. If you go to sleep and make sure you wake up, though. I'm telling you, they're doing all kinds of stuff. They're out for war. You don't know where these people are coming from. They're competing. They want money. These places like Microsoft and Foxconn coming with these people making $1 million a year like that. So you don't know how much they gotta pay back in education. Bitch, you don't know how much they gotta pay for their house, but you want that motherfucking gross income so you can go and buy a goddamn car or say that you doing something, or you want that what? That's fine. But I want my education so that I can be who I want. Because you know what? They might be the type of person that only want to date me and marry somebody much younger. Look at me. My lips, all kinds of shit. I am a mess to some. And I am nobody's trash. But I understand what you don't like about me. I can like about me, someone else may like it. But that does not mean that I didn't make my playlist and I wasn't dancing. I did me a motherfucking backflip and all kinds of shit yesterday. Yes, I did. And I'm going to do some more. I'm living my life. And if I want to tumble out here, if I want to cartwheel, and I'm going to do it. And I do not have to have any failure. I do not have any fear. But if I find hesitation at any point, you are not the one to push me, pull me, drag me, or stop me. Nobody can. Nobody is. And so this is what I have to say. An argument. I can fuss, I can fight, I can do all these things, and it's not illegal. It's not. But the problem is when they say that it's intention to hurt or harm or to abuse somebody. And that's why they are dishonest. You cannot focus on me because of what I'm wearing. You cannot focus on me about how I'm replying to the guy. They always just say, you talking so much in the classroom. You teach. Did they ever tell you what I was ever talking about? There was a note that I passed in 7th grade at John Bullitt Middle School, and all it said was, these are the exact words, fucked a boy. In 7th grade, I passed a note. It didn't say anything else. That teacher made a whole report telling people that I was having sex and all. I mean, it ruined I think that was the first time that I got in trouble or something like that in middle school. I already came from getting in trouble at Wilson Elementary. That bitch snatched a note and all it says was, fucked a boy. She didn't ask me what was I describing. She don't know who I was talking about. That bitch was nosy. And she assumed that I was like her. Stuck her nose in somebody else's business and ruined so much of my reputation to the point where they had police officer teachers stalking me in my classrooms. They were literally hunting me in my classes, choir classes. Oh, I was telling somebody, I don't know who I was telling, but there's that woman again. Miss Kersey. I used to think she was so fucking ugly. And one day it was on the bus. I said, she's not that ugly after all. Her hair is thick or whatever, but I don't like you because you're not a role model. You're not a teacher. You're not setting an example. And this is an awful experience. And then they were trying to put me on medication. How are teachers? You do not have the qualification. And so you want to try to tell my dad to do it, to recommend it. It's just a suggestion. Since we're Mr. Davis. Hi. How are you doing? Please, I used to just sit there. I was used to women always being so nice with these high pitches toward my dad. And, my dad was very handsome and he owned all his own stuff. So, I was used to it. But what I did not like was that my dad was starting to just seem like he didn't like who I was. Because I was giving him I was interfering with his personal life. I was out in the streets. I was embarrassing him. Ain't no telling what amongst his peers and how they were treating him, mistreating him. People were trying to take his job. And, people, I look at this stuff and they conspire against my dad and use me for it. And I did not know. I never knew. But I won't allow it again. And I'm not going to even, I'm going to speak up. Ain't nobody out here speaking for me. And I don't give a fuck what you think. If that's what you're supposed to, I don't give a fuck who you are. Niece, nephew, daughter, son, whoever. If you have not been properly trained, and I have not trained anybody, these people have been a huge and mass interruption. Education is everything. And I have not, nobody can speak for me and understand. And this is why I put it out here. I want to live. I can create a living will. I can submit a living will. I can have a living will. I can submit it to the courts. I can do all of these things. But it still would not change the fact that these people are trying to still control my life. I make the choices for my own life, and this stuff is very serious. And I have to figure it out. I want to live. I want to take care of myself. I want to talk. I can do it. I can. And I am. I matter to me. I can monitor my own actions. I can be something in life. But these people are doing things that are affecting people. Sure, I can shake it all, but these people make it impossible to fix the paperwork a lot of times. I can heal. I'm perfectly fine. And I look at these people and I laugh and they go off all this, and you know better. You see me right here, but you're going to tell them, and it's easier. And then you go and cry to your boss. Bitch, I don't got a daddy to go to and cry to. But you probably got a daddy, a granddaddy, a great-granddaddy, a husband, a son, and bosses and judges, and all these people that got your motherfucking back, bitch, while you fronting on me, lying, being dishonest. Get the fuck back, bitch. I don't want to be your friend. Ain't no sisterhood. Fuck you and your Girl Scout troop, bitch. Get the fuck away from this shit. You take away from everything. And I'm not going to insult Girl Scouts. I'm not going to say, because I once was a Girl Scout, but I ain't learned much of shit about girl. Please, you stupid ass motherfuckers, the bare minimum of every goddamn thing. Please, them was shit. They weren't telling people about all this shit with Girl Scouts. And I was about to take these children in Kenosha, this Wisconsin area, to higher heights. And they were hating because I was hired to be a troop leader. And them bitches, I had all of it for high school children, 11th, 12th grade. And I had the books and every motherfucking thing. And they called me and told me that they want me to work with Element. They cannot do that. If I go and I want to open a troop, I open what kind? That's how fucking bullshit them white bitches been treating me in this area for. Mistreating me for a long motherfucking time. I got a huge case. And this is why they know about it. And they say, shit, she ain't doing nothing. We are steady building up. We better arrest her and take her life from me. You're not taking my life from me. You are not taking my life from me. FBI, all kinds of shit around this motherfucker. And they got dirty shit there too, just at a higher level. But the thing is, bitch, they're at a competitive state too. And there are some real people that are looking and seeing what is going on and what is happening. And they're culturally competent, where they realize what is happening around here and they understand the laws. They are people that are at a higher articulation to understand that I can be myself and something is just not right. And you know what? These people have family members that, and people are in interracial relationships. People want relationships, interrelational, not jungle fever, but just to have, they're seeing like, okay, they're meeting these people at the golf club. They're losing their friends because their friends are losing their family members and they're crying, and then they're being forced into mental illness, and they probably never had anybody else they can trust but a black person. Stand the fuck up. I shouldn't even have to tell you that, right? And I'm not. I'm gonna stand up for myself. There are consequences to all that stuff. And someone said consequences to me standing up for myself. And that is absolutely true. And that is absolutely correct. There is a benefit, and there is also the likelihood in me being alive that I am going to continue to stand up for myself. More than not. And some things it's like, that's not my fucking problem. I'm not out here sniffing my nose where it does not belong. I'm not your guard dog. I'm not your facet. I'm not your faucet. I'm not any of that shit. I'm not even your neighbor. You all have literally punished me in the Kenosha County Jail for being divorced. You ask these personal questions of people that have nothing to do with it because you are practicing laws of Catholic and other things that you are not. And that's the only reason why you get away with doing these things. And you're not telling me. I said, where laws are you going off of? Racine literally said, okay, I'm going to go and get the clerk and she's going to tell you the laws. That bitch went and reported me to the police and said I was harassing her and they tried to arrest me. And I don't know if he was a member of the Ku Klux Klan or not. And he interfered with the process of me, even making sure, through trial or whatever. This shit is serious. I got court cases coming up in municipal. There was a municipal court case that was turned into, these motherfuckers hunted me and waited for me to use the bathroom outside after a black police officer told me that it was legal to use the bathroom outside. Make it make sense. These are the problems. They did everything they could to give me a criminal record. I wasn't even out of jail a year. I'm fighting. But I'm learning that's not all. I don't have to just fight every moment of my life. And even in the moments that I'm fighting, I'm living. And even in the moments that I'm fighting, I'm living, but I'm breathing and I'm happy. And there's never a shadow of doubt. All it is my belief system. And what I know and the knowledge and what is true in my reality, the substance of all these things, as a matter of fact, and all enlightenment, and in all, I gotta look up a word, and in all indoctrination. But for me, you don't have to be certain. And sometimes people tell you, if you are certain, then you are committing a violation to say that you are certain. See, to get to the core in situations, to actually know. You may have the inside track or the outside track, and that's fine. But I have myself. It's not about anybody else. It's just something that I'm sitting here and I'm just living my life, okay? And that's just that. I'm Jasmine Renee Davis. Oh, my goodness. Oh. I can be sure that what I don't have to do is assume. I'm Jasmine Renee Davis. Oh. I'm just being. Shit. The fuck? What is it? What is the problem? What is it? What is it? Hi. Shit. I don't need all this damn shit. Ugh. Ugh. Damn, pay attention. It was actually some toilet paper in this cup. Ugh. Hi, I'm Jasmine Renee Davis. Goodness. So I'm here though. Yeah. Fuck. I'm learning something. This much shit's done. Oh my. Oh, it's cold weather. There is cold weather. I'm just doing something for myself right now. I'm living my life. There are people who are hired to make sure, everything is just so perfect right now. Look, I want the position to do anything for me on my job. And as soon as things turn around, them same people will be the same ones to turn against me and make all kinds, while they sitting up there being unfair. The whole time they're supposed to be working for my situation, not for me, but for my situation or circumstances or the title I have, the position. They sit up there and they would make a case, and they have made a case, and soon some things, and they say, the transfer of power, the appropriate transfer of power and all these different things. They sit up there and they allow work to be undone. They allow for emptiness and instability and dysfunction. And they have been finding error the whole time. They have no loyalty to me or their jobs or to themselves. Those people have allowed themselves to be a part of a machine and a member to something that has no faith in who I am whatsoever. They don't even have faith in themselves at times. They are there as just a figure. And it's unfair that they create these things and use them in times where they don't qualify, justify, or they have no substance or to be substantial. But they use it because they have a record, they have document, and it has my name on it. And someone told them it's okay and to be appropriate because so I don't have to join forces with anyone. They say the same things that make you laugh make you cry. I cry, I laugh. I like to cry sometime, and I appreciate it. It's not like I'm forcing myself to cry, but I like the fact that I can cry. Just like sweating. I want to sweat, but I don't have to because I cry. I have, so my fluids aren't coming out in places or whatever, but I also know that I'm still growing. My body is not developing like other people's body. I'm not feeling things in ways, sometimes I see people sweating, doing the same, what looks like what I'm doing. And I'm not sweating, but I'm sweating doing something that I would never even know that I'm sweating doing. My sweat comes from a healthy place where I'm happy and all these different things at times, or it comes from, it just really depends on who I am. I'm not a mature person, and I realize that. But who cares? Why are you so concerned about the progress? Because you are trying to steal my body at the best part of me where I'm growing. And it's like, in my prime, right here now, you tell people and you try to attack people. And that's why so many people, it's like, they can't wait till they get 18. Shit, can't wait till you get 40, motherfucker. What you mean? And so it gives people a less likeliness to try to attack. And now what you're going to try to figure out how to do. Learn what you can do. Now you're going to learn why I say 40. Go right ahead. And then, don't take my word for it. Because I was about to say, go ahead and knock yourself out. But I'll be careful about you motherfuckers. Because you are in a sick culture and you are trying to find someone to believe. And you are trying to sit here and hang on to my motherfucking breasts and my titties. My breasts and my titties. And you're biting me for no reason. And you're not doing, I don't have anything and I don't like it. I'm not your mother. I am a mother, but I do not want to constantly just be held to a standard of taking care of someone who are extreme liability that's going to take away from my own livelihood. I just can't do it. But if it is something in my body, I do not want to go to someone to try to say they're going to choose the baby's life or my life and have somebody decide whether. No, it's not like that. Your ass, you, the doctor, whoever you motherfucker gotta go, cause I'ma figure this out. This is gonna come out and I'ma live and the baby is gonna live. See, you see how I do that? This is heavy skill. I have extreme talent. I have talent way beyond belief. I have talent way beyond imagination. I have incredible talent. It is unmerited, it's undocumented, but I know that I have it. And also it's just, it's not to be, I'm not for sale. I'm not selling my soul. I'm living. And I want to be independent and I want to be able to go in and out of doors. Not just in. I want to be able to go out of some motherfucking doors. All right, just keep it real. When I keep my power and tell these people, you are not going to continue to separate me and break me apart and do all these things and force someone else into position to replace things, then they'll understand. You have not been there, so you do not understand. You want to have things as a result, and you mad at me because you don't have the prerequisites, so you really don't qualify. And when you all said and done, and you get behind closed doors with whatever it is that you have competed with me for, that you have taken from me, that you have won with me in mind the whole entire time, you won't have me there. You won't have me there. You will have yourself, and you will have yourself to encourage and to blame. And then when you grow and you continue to grow, you'll be stuck with some sort of situation. And then what you do is to what? Find some sort of divorce or some kind of murderous mechanism to apply yourself into a line to continue. Just say no. Just say yes. Just walk away and just say, you know what? This is not working out and I appreciate it. Go live your life. I'm so happy that I have been able to meet you. But you know what? I don't want to take anything away from you. This is not working. Everything does not have to end in death. There is life after all these situations. Divorce where? Who gives a fuck? That's what you choose. Wake the nigga, go, please go on your way. I'm telling you, that is something that I am going to campaign against how they did me in that motherfucking jail about being divorced. I said, I don't have to carry that man name. I don't have, and a fucking black officer sit there and then some little white bitch was up in there talking to me. Be careful in the motherfucking holding cells. That's where they get you. That's class. They want to see where the fuck to put you in and see. That is the motherfucking holding cell. That's the motherfucking defining moment. God damn it. They got bitches in there hired that come in there to attack. Them bitches attack. And they there for whatever reason to investigate. That bitch gonna say, she's doing something weird. Bitch, don't tell me to shut up. All you bitches up in here sick. I don't give a fuck. Go to the nurse. You don't tell me to shut the fuck up, bitch. You got something loud up in your motherfucking life. Bitch, I got something loud in mine. Handle your shit, bitch. Just as well as I have to handle mine. I don't fucking know you. Your problem is loud, bitch. My problem is loud, bitch. I'm in jail, bitch. You're probably not. Shit. Then they gonna lock me up and talk and then put me in a hole. And after I got put in a hole, they gonna try to say, I can't cohabitate with others. But they did move me out of all, and then put me in a nasty ass cell. I had to get all that shit off of. Somebody had put toilet paper all up on the motherfucker, and then they don't give people toilet paper as it is. Fuck that. They should be given at least 2 rolls at a time. You can't tell somebody how much they're poor because you see that you're giving to sick people. These people are sick. There are people who, man, I was in jail 2023, 2024. Young black women. They have been places and got like Brazilian butt lifts, BBLs or whatever they call them. All these motherfucking things. All these body makeovers. They have went and had surgery and they in jail. I wonder why. They were not being properly taken care of, and they had their butts done and all these things. You do not understand, and you're not properly, and people don't have to tell you shit about what they're doing because people should be able to take care of themselves and nothing should have went wrong through the process. But what I'm saying is they got these people out there, they're constipated, the food is stopping them up and they're not eating enough, they're not drinking enough, and they're basically going there to die. And some people make it through. And them motherfuckers was hating on me. They were trying to do everything. Take my manila folder envelopes from me. Take my paperwork. I had stacks of shit that I was doing. Them bitches were hating on me. Oh, they're going to report me. So bad where they were throwing their contraband out because they wanted to take me down. Them bitches were throwing their cold, bitch. Them bitches were working. That money was good to them bitches. It had them. Ain't no motherfucking way you hating on me because I got papers, bitch. And you about to throw your extra clothes and your extra blankets and your extra books just to take my motherfucking paperwork, bitch. And then they were mad because I had goddamn rule books and shit. Them hoes was, it was a terror. Taking my papers, like, it was so stupid. These motherfuckers was out there living their best life. Like literally testing people. Like it was more than one Davis. They'll say Davis, not who. And they'll see, I wasn't rushing to fuck it. I'm over here sitting down. I'm about to get up. I'm not about to fucking break my neck for any damn thing. These people are a mess. And I just have to continue to live my life. I have to understand anybody. This is good information. No matter if you're 1 day old, if you're in the womb, and that's a beautiful thing to be able to be in the womb. Please now. And in some testicles. Shit. My goodness. Oh. It's just so much trouble. I was sitting up actually before my phone and just made a sound. And I just find myself to be so beautiful. And these people know that they're in trouble, but they don't want me to know they're in trouble. These people, they literally have people out here. And people are blind and they believe that they're living their best life because they can. I do not have to join your party. I do not have to read your books. I do not have to have your education. Be careful of where you move to just because the rent is cheap. Just because you got somebody else living there. You don't know what you're getting yourself into. You are getting yourself into some trouble. Just so happened, I've been working my way around here. These motherfuckers fighting me. They probably got their long lost cousins and everything else coming and fucking try to fight me and shit. Bitch, where? Telling you, I ain't gotta have no long lost shit. I got myself. Telling you motherfuckers, shit, long lost cousins came to me. I got a criminal case because a cousin was on bullshit. Bitch, you came here to spend up my money. While I was in jail, you just radically came here like motherfuckers where, and you sit here, and the people that I motherfucking know, that's what I said. I don't got no motherfucking friends. And that's not the only reason why. And that's fine. I can't get away from none of this shit. If I got some so-called cousins and or some kind of family members and I make friends, they making friends with them. And it's just like, damn, I cannot. And so I'm like, I talk to you later on in life. I can't fuck with you right now because I cannot, because it gets like that and I can't risk what I'm doing. I cannot risk what I'm doing and understand that no matter what age it is, to be appropriate in all my ways. I have learned that I can see myself through my situation without anybody polluting my body. That's the reality. And I forever I'm going to look up a word. And I want to say cherish, but I got to look more into it. But I can just have my growth and want it and experience it and be happy. So I'm out here, and that's pretty much what I'm going to say for now. I am Jasmine Renee Davis, and I plan to come on with more videos, and I'm going to upload this video to YouTube. But I'm gonna have myself. I have myself. Right now it's 4:19 a.m. and it's Monday, May 5th, 2025. I'm Jasmine Renee Davis. I'm live and I'm sound, but I want to grow. I want to learn how to make different, like with instruments and beats, and so I can play them and I can dance to my own tune, my own words. But I have some playlists that I'm making and I'm just listening to them right now. I'm not trying to harm anybody or be a threat. And so if you hear a playlist that I might share today or something like that, it is information that I want somebody to actually hear. I like creating playlists. I like doing things, and I try to be as careful as I possibly can be. I have to say, those are those people's words, not always mine, but people have the right to say something. And to learn and have knowledge and to appreciate it. I even bought me a Bluetooth speaker because I'm about to be dancing. And I'm going to dance in the park. I'm going to dance outside. And I don't want people bothering me. I don't give a fuck what I'm doing. I'm not going to be stripping. If you cannot handle it, you're going to have to figure something out. Teach your people. Because even if I was having an emotional breakdown or whatever, and I can, there's nothing wrong with that. I can. I'm growing. I should not have to sit up here and be on somebody's stage and be an actor to pretend to be someone. Like if I say, oh, I'm pretending to be somebody, some great person that dances, as long as they can turn the lights off and close the curtains and stop me I don't have to be on your time clock. But anyway, just have this beautiful, magical moment with myself in this darkness. I appreciate it. I'm alive. I'm happy. I have my senses, but I'm growing. I cannot say it all right now, but what I can say is, I am Jasmine Renee Davis. And I appreciate it. I'm living. I want to, and I'm going to see it for a different way. And if you choose to deal with your matters, and a lot of people find that they have to die before they get to somewhere, but I have to live continually. So you know what? And people should be happy because how about this? I'm going to continue to live. And even though you're going to, if you choose that death is okay and important for you and that you're going to get another life, I see you in that life as well, because it's still going to be this life. I'm still going to live my life. You're just going to have another chance. You're going to be another person. You're going to do other things. You may come back as a butterfly. You may come back as a bee. You may come back as anything that you want to. Believe in yourself. Believe in your people, and you align what you have to do. But what you have to know is that there are people who are jealous, guys, and they say that you may not serve two masters. I'm telling you all right now to mind your business. I am not your role model. I'm telling you, I'm just being I'm myself. You couldn't possibly get to know me. But when you see me, realize that I am this being that I have such substance in me. Please, please, please to myself. Jasmine Renee Davis.